Why are they saying DDG is Oh. That. Don't even.
That can't even be real.
All that, bro. All that.
But that can't even be real. That's the thing.
But don't even. You remember we talked about last night? All that. Let me say something. It's not.
No, I'm saying, but I don't know where that even came from.
Yo, stop these fake allegations.
This just got wild. A restraining order has officially been filed, and it involves DDG and Halle Bailey. I've got the court documents in hand, and what's inside is shocking. Allegation, tension, and receipts you are not ready for. This is not internet speculation. I'm talking legal action. And today I'm breaking it all down, line by line, who filed it, what they said, and why this could change anything. This might just be the messiest chapter yet. Grab a seat because it's time to read the legal documentation behind this messy breakup and parental custody battle. Hello everyone and welcome back to Lindsey Unfiltered. And today we'll be talking about DDG and Halle Bailey. If you guys do not know, DDG and Halle Bailey are in this huge parental custody breakup spat, and physical violence, emotional violence, financial violence has been called into question. And now we actually have legal documents that we can read through to see exactly what happened here. If you guys don't know, Halle Bailey was the Little Mermaid in the live action film. DDG is a fellow YouTuber and live streamer, so I do understand the grind when it comes to DDG. I do understand the grind when it comes to Halle Bailey as well, because there was a huge issue with her becoming the first Black Little Mermaid. But I do resonate a little bit more with DDG as far as for the streaming and the videography. We need to see what's being alleged. We can't just point fingers and not know exactly what's going on. So that's what I'm going to do today. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see coming next. If you like content like this that revolves around true crime, scandal, conspiracy with a twist of humor, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's get into the nitty-gritty here. Okay, here we are with the declaration of Halle Bailey. These are the things that she accused DDG of doing during the time they were together, and why she feels that her son would be safer with her, and only her, and nothing but the her, right? So I have a marker. We're going to be marking up. We're going to be looking at this and seeing who's right, who's wrong. Again, DDG came out with text messages with her being volatile and allegedly violent as well, but we'll get to that on a later day. But here's the declaration. She says, I, Halle Bailey, declare that I am the petitioner in this case. I have personal knowledge of the facts I state below, and if I were called as a witness, I would competently testify to what I have written in this declaration. Exhibits referenced below are true and correct copies of the identified document and are incorporated by reference at the place indicated by the exhibit letter. I submit this declaration in support of my request for a domestic violence restraining order. Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr. Daryl and I were involved in a romantic relationship for about 2 years, beginning in 2022 and ending in 2024. Our son, Halo St. Granberry, Halo, was born on December 22nd, 2023. Throughout our relationship and continuing to date, Daniel has been and continues to be physically, verbally, emotionally, and financially abusive towards me. I am seeking orders to protect myself and our son, Halo, from his ongoing abuse. Let's stop here. Not victim blaming, but you guys were together for under a year, and then you guys had a baby. If you knew he was physically, verbally, emotionally, financially abusive, why did the baby come? He's here now. He's adorable. It's wonderful. I'm not trying to be a victim blame, but now you want to take the son away when you willingly got into a relationship with this man. But hey, it is what it is. We're here now. She goes on to say, Daryl is a professional YouTube and Twitch blogger and rapper. Whenever he wishes to cause upset, he starts bad-mouthing me to his several millions of fans. He claims I am withholding our son and that I'm with other men. As a result, I then receive threats and hate on social media. He seems to try to set up drama for his fans. He goes live ranting about me and alleges that I am keeping Halo from him. This is false. I have requested a set schedule, which he refuses. I am also a public figure and am subject to public scrutiny and hate. As recently as this morning, May 13th, 2025, Daryl was giving an interview in Miami on TikTok talking about our son, flipping the script, claiming he is getting hated on by his fans. To be clear, I do not go on social media discussing our relationship or any of our issues related to our son. Only he does that. Honestly, I haven't seen Halle Bailey come on the internet and rant about DDG. I've never really seen that. I've seen DDG say more things, but it wasn't really out the way what DDG said. It was kind of just like, I want my son, I want to be around my son. And that in turn made his fans go and bash Halle Bailey. But Halle Bailey has a subset of fans that have been bashing him for the longest amount of time. I feel like being a public figure, it's inevitable. So for her to say that she didn't go on social media discussing her relationship or any of the issues related to their son, she may not have done it as much as he did, but she definitely did go on social media tweeting when he had Halo on a stream. She said, I didn't agree for my baby to be on a stream. She has taken it to social media before. He has taken it to social media before. And their fan bases, as a result, have gotten upset. It's all fair in love and war. People think that DDG isn't good enough for her. People think she's trying to keep the son away from DDG. There's people on two polarizing sides of this. Okay, you have streamers and DDG fans on one side, and you have movie buffs, song buffs on the other side that think she needs to be with a higher caliber of a guy. I'm just reporting what I see, okay? He used to say, he is the one who creates this frenzy with his and my fan bases, and he is now going online to continue talking about it, furthering the frenzy. This is not child-centered. I have asked him to stop this behavior. He continues. He gets paid for hits, and this creates hits for him. Our relationship ended in 2024 because of Daryl's temper and lack of respect towards me. There have been numerous incidents of physical abuse even before Halo was born. He often calls me profanities, including bitch. He also called me evil. Since we broke up, we've had ongoing issues related to Daryl's last-minute demands to see Halo without any schedule. He will not commit to any regular visits or schedule for visits. He demands Halo when it is convenient for Daryl only. I never know when I will get Halo back or where he will be. Based on my discussions with him and his mother, I am aware that Daryl leaves Halo with his mother most of the visits, and his mother cares for Halo. I want Daryl's family to be close with Halo, but I believe Daryl should be present instead of simply leaving Halo with his family for days. On January 18th, 2025, Daryl called me and said he was coming over to get Halo, who was just 13 months at the time. I let him into my house and asked him politely when he would bring Halo back. I have repeatedly asked Daryl to please set a schedule. He did not want to talk and refused to tell me when he would bring Halo back. The discussion continued as I walked with him outside to assist to put Halo in the car seat. I was buckling the baby into his seat and physically got into the back seat to adjust the car seat. I had left my front door open and was not even fully dressed, and I was not wearing shoes. Daryl kept repeating, "Get out of my car, bitch." Halo was crying. I repeatedly pleaded with him to stop calling me a bitch. I felt very nervous that he was taking Halo with him and was very agitated. I did not feel safe leaving a baby with him in this state. I also wanted to know when he would bring Halo back. He would not tell me. Okay, after reading this, I do feel like DDG should let her know when he's coming to get the baby. You have to set a schedule. What if she has work? What if she has a hot date? What if she's going out with her friends that night? You have to set a schedule. You can't just barge into her house at any time you want to come get your son. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. Y'all aren't together anymore. You need to set a schedule so she can be available to get your son. And then she's saying that he leaves the baby with his mother most of the time. Honestly, that's none of her business what he does with the baby, where he puts the baby, who he has to babysit his child. Why, if you're saying he's this horrible, agitated, violent person, why do you want him to be around the baby instead of his mother? Like, what are we saying here? You want him in his son's life, but then on the other hand, you're saying he's violent, terrible, horrible. But then DDG can't just bust into her house whenever he pleases and not create a schedule. This argument then escalated. The next thing I knew, things got physical between us. We fought each other, wrestling and tussling. At one point, Daryl was pulling my hair. He then slammed my face on the steering wheel, causing my tooth to get chipped. I stopped fighting back as I was in a lot of pain. I wanted to get out of the car with Halo, but was now stuck. Daryl then said since I would not leave the baby in the car, he would take me with them. He drove quickly towards his house. When we arrived at his house, I was crying and told his family what happened. I begged his family, who were there, to help me figure out a schedule with him. They just said, leave Halo and go. I left hysterical. I had bruises all over my arm and a chipped tooth. True and correct copies of the pictures of the bruises and my tooth are attached here too as Exhibit 1. On March 3, 2025, Daryl had Halo in his care. I was to pick up Halo at 3 p.m. that day. Instead, at approximately 12 p.m., while I was away from my home, Daryl came to my home and entered my home without my permission or knowledge. He does not have a key to my home. I will bring a copy of the Ring camera footage from that day that shows Daryl entering my sliding door on the side of my house and going upstairs. After he entered my home, Daryl then went to my bedroom and sent me pictures of my empty bed. He sent me a threatening text. Now I know what you've been on, LOL, which I understood to be accusing me of having sex with other men. Exhibit 2. This left me feeling very unsafe and nervous that he would enter my home again when I was there. On March 7th, 2025, Halo and I were both sick with RSV at my home. Daryl stopped by to see Halo. I had already warned about our sickness. In reading this page, the fight is crazy. Slamming her head on the steering wheel, chipping her tooth, beating her up is crazy. But she does use the correct language for me to understand. They fought each other, so it was a battle. That doesn't mean you put your hands on women, DDG. I don't care if she slapped you first. That doesn't mean you put your hands on women, DDG. And you both are parents and your child's in the back seat. And you're just battling it out? Like, what is going on? This isn't about baby Halo. Like she said, this is about who the other one is sleeping with. For both of them. So the family was like, we don't want nothing to do with that. Just leave the baby here. You're acting wild. Y'all are beating each other down. We don't want nothing to do with this, okay? We don't want nothing to do with this. We just want to make sure the baby's safe because y'all are not being safe, responsible parents right now. And DDG entering her house without her permission, not okay. Not okay. Not okay. I don't agree with that. That has to be dealt with. You can't have someone entering your home, someone that you've gotten into fights with, someone you're not on good terms with. I would think she would need to change her locks and get on that shit ASAP because they are very toxic right now. I made it clear to him that I did not want Halo leaving my home because he was sick. When I told Daryl that, he became very angry with me. He raised his voice and became verbally abusive towards me, hurling bad names at me. He then saw that the Ring camera was recording. He unplugged the Ring camera, opened the side door, and threw the Ring camera out of my home. I went outside to retrieve the Ring camera. He then locked me out of my house. I went around the back and came into the house through another entrance. I plugged the camera back in and called my family member for help. With her on the phone line, I repeatedly asked Daryl to please leave. I told him that he was being rude and I was too sick to deal with him. He would not leave. When he realized my family member was on the phone line, he became enraged. Around the same time, I noticed that he also saw that the Ring camera was back on, so he smashed the camera. I have this recorded and will bring the recording to the hearing. Daryl then grabbed my phone and hung up on the call to my family member. At some point while he was distracted, I was able to get Halo from him. Daryl then ran out of the house with my phone. I followed, begging to please give my phone back. He got into his car and closed the car door on me while I was holding Halo. Daryl then drove off and threw my phone out the window and yelled, "Go get it, bitch." As a result of this incident, I filed a police report. Whoa. So her and the baby had RSV. She's like, "You're not getting the damn baby. Get out." He takes the Ring camera, throws it out of the back window. She gets it, picks it up, plugs it back in, calls somebody. He's like, "Who the hell are you calling?" She's like, "Don't worry about it." And then he takes the Ring camera. He's like, "Oh, you're going to plug this shit back in?" Smashes the ring camera. And then he runs out of the house. He's running out of the house. She's following him and has the baby in her hand. He slams the door with her phone in his hand. He slams the door on her and the baby. So her and the baby are jolted back, and then he takes the phone, pitches it out the window, and says, "Go get it, B." I could see that happening. DDG seems like he came from a good upbringing. Has a good mom, good family, valedictorian, smart guy, a lot of money. But sometimes money inflates the ego. Everybody's guilty of it. You get a new pair of jeans, a new pair of shoes, and you start feeling like you're bigger than the program. And I could see DDG doing some stuff like that. I think there's two sides to the story, but this is not right. She continues to say, "I have attempted to work with Daryl to set up a schedule for Halo, but he refuses to talk to me and just goes live to blast me to his fans. I also continue to try to work with his mother to try to arrange time for Daryl to be with Halo. I was filming in New Jersey last month and arranged for his mother to come and take Halo to visit with his father. In coordinating the trip, I learned that Daryl had purchased a one-way ticket for his mother to come to New Jersey to take Halo to him. He demanded I pay the cost of the return ticket and would not book it. I had a lawyer get involved in order to protect our son and draft an agreement to ensure that our son would be returned to me. Exhibit 4. I was glad that I could facilitate the visit, but it created tremendous stress for me and disrupted my work while I was dealing with Daryl's threats. The court should also be aware that Daryl's mother and I discussed further visits after the visit last month, but Daryl chose not to see our son. This is not unusual. Daryl often goes weeks without contact and then demands Halo that very day. Daryl's mother and I also discussed that I would be back in Los Angeles with Halo returning on May 11, 2025. Our communication evidencing these discussions are attached as Exhibit 5. Then on May 5th, 2025, the night of the Met Gala, Daryl started up again online. He went live on his Twitch channel, voicing that he was unable to see his son, implying that I was keeping Halo from him. He then created a firestorm of media around freeing Halo from me. See various social media messages directed at me, collectively Exhibit 6. His fans then began accusing me of refusing to share Halo and being out partying with other men. Given the fact that Daryl's mother and I had texted about my whereabouts a week prior and Daryl did not wish to see Halo after his last visit, the timing of his Twitch post was intended to ruin my night, which it did. I could not concentrate or be present at the Met Gala. I was worried about the situation again. These are stressful events, but are they threatening events? Not really. I don't really see these as threatening events. The verbal abuse, yes. The physical abuse, yes. But the back and forth of when you're going to see the baby or how he's going to get the baby or what he says to his Twitch followers, he can say whatever he wants on his stream. That's the way he makes his money. That's his expression, his freedom of expression. If he wants to talk about you, then so be it. You can't hold his child away from him because he talks about you. If he abuses you or the child, you may have an argument there. But I don't want to see you talking about, "Oh, he said something about me on Twitch." That's not enough for me personally. Every time this happens, I feel scared, anxious, and worry about Halo's safety, as well as my own. I have noticed a pattern of Daryl doing this when I have events related to my career, although I'm trying to work hard to provide for our son. Likewise, the weekend of Mother's Day, May 9th through 11th, 2025, I left New Jersey with Halo and went on a short vacation with my sister. Daryl again accused me of being with other men and posting about my relationship with other men. See Exhibit 7, a true and correct copy of social media post that Daryl began texting me. As always, this caused me great distress. I even texted him, hoping he would stop. Exhibit 8. Daryl, are you not tired of harassing me? You make up a new lie on me every day. I'm in St. Lucia having fun with Shermae and Chloe. Not with any man out here. I wouldn't do that. I have Halo. I told your mom I was going to be with my sister last week. Please let me enjoy my Mother's Day in peace. I hope you're okay and feel better soon. More recently, this has become extremely upsetting to me because Daryl refuses to work with my attorney to set up any schedule. Instead, he is threatening that he will take our son 50% of the time and pay me zero support. It should be noted that he has never paid me child support, and I have never sought child support from him. I have asked him, however, to contribute to Halo's expenses. Only on one occasion has he done so. I am contractually committed to be filming a movie out of the country in Italy on June 7th, 2025 for approximately 8 weeks. I have been and remain the only caretaker of Halo throughout his entire life. I do not believe it is in Halo's best interest to be left with Daryl, or more likely his mother, because Daryl leaves town on a weekly basis most weeks, especially for the entire 8 weeks. I am seeking permission to take Halo with me to Italy so I can continue caring for him. I am contractually bound to be in Italy to film. I have a family and nanny who will be traveling with me to take care of Halo while I am working. I have done everything possible to avoid going to court. I have tried to placate Daryl by providing him access to Halo, even though he is not with Halo and often leaves Halo with his mother. I have facilitated his visits no matter where I am and often last minute. I realize there is no placating Daryl. I cannot allow this abuse any longer. I cannot keep living like this. I never know when he's going to demand our son be in his mother's care and whether I will be subjected to his threats and abuse. As of the date I am signing this declaration, Daryl is in Miami online railing against me, alleging he cannot see his son. He is not in Los Angeles. I had planned on Daryl picking up Halo on Monday, yesterday at my home in Los Angeles. His attorney has not responded to mine to arrange for the visit. This is not child-centered, and Halo is only being used to further his fan base and online presence. I declare under penalty of perjury under laws of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct. Executed on May 13th, 2025. Now, that is Halle Bailey's opinion on the situation. Now, here's my opinion on the situation. If DDG does not have the baby with him and he's constantly working, streamers work crazy hours. I've streamed before. Daily streaming is not for the weak. If he's not going to be able to have his baby on the stream anyway, then it might be just better to let Halle have the baby if she has a more succinct plan in place. I think he's just doing it kind of to be difficult. I think they're both of them are using the baby against each other. They're using the baby because they can't control what the other person's doing. DDG coming over to her house at random times and asking where the baby is. It's just to check up on her. And she's doing the same, wondering why he's not with Daryl and always with the mother to check up on him. I don't think they should be using their child to try to justify their actions of trying to get even with the other parent. And that's what so many people do. They have a child with a person and they want to see what that other person's doing so bad that they don't even see that they're hurting their child. And I think that's what's going on here. If you guys like what I did here by reading this, I can pull out the text that DDG came with. DDG has a lawyer and he has a defense. He's saying that this is not just one-sided. Halle has done some things to him as well. If you guys want me to check that out, I will. But at this point, I think it's a toxic relationship, a toxic breakup that has gone public. And people's fans are going to support them. Halle cannot get upset because his fans support him or he vents to fans. She may be a private person. He may be a public person. Who knows? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was Lindsey Unfiltered. Bye now.